Can plant-based kids get enough nutrition? This new systematic review evaluated the nutrient intake and status of children and adolescents following plant-based diets. They included 33 publications from between the year 2000 and 2022, and none of the included studies found any significant differences in total calorie intake between meat eaters, vegetarians, and vegans. However, on average, protein intake was lower amongst vegetarians and vegans compared to meat eaters. However, it was generally above recommendations. Although there is some debate around whether those recommendations should actually be higher. It's also worth noting that in some of the studies, the vegans did consume similar amounts of protein to the meat eaters, so it did depend on the population being studied. Fiber intake, on the other hand, was clearly highest amongst the vegans, with the meat eaters failing to meet the adequate intake in every study that looked at fiber intake. The vegans also had the highest polyunsaturated fat intake and lowest saturated fat intakes, which bodes quite well for cardiovascular health. As for micronutrients, if we exclude supplements, vegans had higher intakes of some micronutrients like folate, but lower intakes of others such as vitamin B12 compared to meat eaters. And all diet groups had low intakes of vitamin D. But when measuring actual nutrient status, there generally weren't huge differences in rates of deficiency amongst the different diet groups, and this may partly be explained by supplementation and fortified food intake amongst all the diet groups. Nonetheless, there are some nutrients that vegans and vegetarians need to be cognizant of, there are others that meat eaters need to focus on, and there are some that all dietary groups need to consider, such as vitamin D. Nutritional deficiencies are not a vegan-specific concern.